What is fitted to this car? So this car has a Racingline R600 intake, a turbo pipe and muffler delete, Racingline Catch Can, APR downpipe, APR exhaust, APR front mounted intercooler system, NGK race plugs, APR cool packs, motorsport pendulum mount, motorsport rear anti-roll bar, Tarox 8-pot BBK, Tarox rear brake upgrade Corsa pads, Super Pro Caster camber bush kit, Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres. Well, the owner actually also has a Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 track tyre with Team Dynamic alloys. So he has a separate set of alloys. The Pretorias are on top of his normal ones. But that's kind of like the extras on top of a Golf R. His one actually had DCC as standard, so that kind of came off to put like the Olin suspension on, which is one of the big things that I want to mention. That was the main recent upgrade that the subscriber did. And yeah, so Olin suspension on, DCC off. But yeah, pretty sensational car. Having the APR Stage 2 tune, you're looking at around 400 brake horsepower, so you know, no slouch. It's certainly a really special car. So who are APR? APR LLC is an automotive engineering firm. APR's sole mission is to provide the highest quality and most highly engineered aftermarket performance products available for Porsche, Audi and Volkswagen vehicles. That's what they say on their site. And actually this owner was very sort of like full of praise of APR and the quality that they kind of do and bring, which I think is really great. So you know, for highly recommended by the owner for sure. So how did it feel? So for me, it felt awesome. I love Mark 7 Golf Rs. You know, I've talked about them so much in the channel. I have a Mark 7 Golf R myself. I think stock or tuned, they're unbelievable, and I'd always recommend them to anyone, anywhere, basically. I still feel the car is like quite agile for like quite a slightly heavy hot hatch. You know, obviously the Haldex system does add to the extra weight, but the traction, compliance, smoothness of gear changes, you know, it's a car that feels like it can handle a lot more than the stock 300 and potentially even more than this owner's 400 brake horsepower, to be honest. But from a reliability standpoint, I'd probably stick to the lower sort of end. It still kind of had that two-sided personality, which made it great as a daily. I think that was really good. I think this owner's tuned car, obviously with the exhaust, tiny bit more drone than say on a stock car, so that's just one thing to think of. And obviously I'm probably more of a fan of stock cars if I'm honest, but to have the experience of this was great, and it shows what that EA888 engine is all about. It can certainly deliver so much more, and yeah, which kind of gives a whole new dimension to the car. Yeah, it felt great. It felt great in the corners, and I actually drove this before driving the Audi RS3, which is also on my channel, a tuned MRC tuned stage 2 car, and I would say this felt a little bit more nimble on its feet. Maybe it's that 3-door feel, I don't know, but I just enjoy them. It certainly gave me a really fantastic feeling, and I'm also obsessed with like the pearlescent paint. I love that Oryx white. So what does the owner think? Well, the owner has owned this car since brand new, actually in 2016, and I've put his full thoughts in the description because I asked the owner to actually just describe it, put it in detail and write it down, because I think, you know, if you're interested in doing this kind of thing, listen to what they say, listen to the process that they went through. It was sort of slow upgrades and then sort of obviously getting to the stage that it's at now, and also owning it from brand new also gives you quite a good idea of an owner who's had a car for nearly 7 years. So that's really, really good. For a brief summary of that description, the owner kind of says as stock they were very happy and very impressed by its abilities, but they knew the tuning potential. Obviously so many people can tune these cars. They had planned track days to sort of do with the car, and I think that's the main thing. If I imagine if the owner didn't plan to do any track sort of work with the car, I think they might have kept it stock. So it's a little bit of what you kind of want to do with the car, and from what I've heard, and hopefully I'll get the chance to actually take this car out on track and, you know, sit with the owner, because apparently it's really, really capable and really worries a lot of cars. So for sure I will do that, and actually check out my pinned comment, because I always want to do like owner meets and stuff like that, and I am actually going to go to an event. I'll leave the details in the description. I believe it's sort of towards the end of April 2022 in the UK around Castle Coombs. So yeah, tag along, check it out. I'll be there, my car will be there, and yeah, a little bit of a meet on that regards. So what was the biggest impression for me? Well, for me the biggest impression was the suspension, the Olin suspension. It felt really, really sophisticated, really, really plush. And I think that's great. And to be fair, the owner, who had DCC for quite a long time, only recently fitted the Olins, said the DCC standard stock suspension was fine. It struggled a little bit more when he was on track. On the road, it felt really, really nice. You know, I think you pay for it to get it, obviously, but that was quite a big impression. The next one was, well, the 8-pot Tarox discs. They're 2-piece 360mm BBK brakes. They're just sensational. They look really, really good. They stop really, really good. And yeah, they felt quite good on the road actually as well. They were a tiny bit squeaky at like slow speeds when we first getting going, but once you get heat into them and get going, you know, you had endless amount of braking feel. Really, really good like pedal pressure as well actually. Yeah, again, you pay for it, but you get what you pay for, or you pay for what you get, basically. So yeah, for me, the brakes and the suspension, and that's the kind of thing that I kind of like as well. But that was the biggest impression for me. For sure, the tune sort of obviously shot it off the line, and it was quick enough, more than quick enough. The car also had like a TCU tune for the gearbox as well, just to kind of help, obviously, with the extra power. But yeah, for me, I like brake, suspension, that's kind of where I'm at. So would I tune mine? Suspension and brakes, potentially yes. I just love the OEM stock feel, and as a daily, you know, that's what I kind of prefer, but it's all personal preference. I have nothing against, and sort of obviously getting the opportunity to drive a few modified cars recently, you know, I certainly see the appeal. For me, I just like the OEM side of things, but certainly stuff like brakes, suspension, particularly when they're to this level, oh my god, it's absolutely sensational. And I can only recommend reading the full sort of like description of what the owner kind of thinks about the car. But yeah, it was really, really great. My love for Mark 7 Golf Rs continue, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. And obviously with this kind of tune, it brings it to a point of like the Mark 8 Golf R. It's that kind of level, so you know, you can save some money. You know, I won't go into the exact cost of what the owner paid, but you're looking at around sort of £5,000 to £7,000 basically to get it to the level that they did. So that's just a small idea on costs, and obviously that's via sort of APR and obviously all the tuning mods that have been mentioned. But a fantastic car, great car, sounded fantastic, went fantastic. The compliance, the composure, that's what I love about cars. And yeah, for sure, I mean, I'm still smiling and laughing now, and it was a week ago I was driving it. So oh man, what a special car for sure. And let me know your thoughts in the comments as well, because I'm really, really interested to know what you think about this car. And yeah, if you're into your modifying, or if you like to keep your car stock like I do, you know, it's really interesting to know. And I'm always kind of learning more as the channel goes on, and yeah, plenty more content to come for sure as well. But interested to know your comments. Comment below, like the video, helps the channel. Cheers guys.